Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another ReZero reaction. ReZero is finally back after 3 long months, man. Well, I mean, it has been back for what is it? It's been like 4 or 5 weeks now. I'm like 5 episodes behind. It's been crazy over here. I'm sorry for the wait, but I'm excited to start watching this. We're gonna have Zach and Tabor, as I did the last couple videos. They'll be joining us today. And I believe we're gonna watch 2 episodes. Yeah, two episodes. That's what we're gonna be doing. I'm pretty sure. Now I'm not sure if I'll be putting both episodes in one video, and the reason being, I have volume 13, volume 14 here, and if you've seen my past videos, you know I am going to compare these to the anime and see if anything interesting was left out, any dialogue. Well, there's definitely going to be dialogue. They can't possibly fit everything from the book into the anime, so can't really expect that. But yeah, there'll definitely be dialogue. Whether or not I find it important enough to put in the video is up to me, of course. Yeah, see if there's any interesting dialogue. Maybe delve a bit deeper into Subaru's head. And yeah, that's what's gonna be going down today. Now, the light novel stuff will happen after the reaction is done. So after me, Zach, and Tabor are finished with the episode, I will be by myself. It'll just be me, and I'll be rewatching the episode and looking through the book at the same time. So there won't be any long interruptions in the middle of the episode like I've done before. The light novel stuff will be at the end, so if you're interested in that, you can stay for that. And if just interested in the reactions, then stay for the reaction. But yeah, that's what's gonna be going on. I'm freaking excited. I got my Emilia drip on. And yeah, we're gonna go chat with the other guys real quick, and then we'll get into the reaction. Alrighty, and we are now with my good pals Zach and Tabor.
Hello.
What's up?
There they are. And like I said, we're watching episode 39. And at the moment, I think there's 5 episodes. Guys, 5 episodes we haven't seen, so we'll be watching 2 of them today. And we'll go from there. Do you guys remember anything that happened last episode? Anything at all?
I've been ignoring it, so it's just like not at the top of my brain list. So no.
I know Roswaal was there. That's about all I remember.
Well, I think a few big things. Roswaal hired. We found out that Roswaal hired Elsa to attack, in the mansion. That whole ordeal. The reason Elsa's there is because of Roswaal.
Oh yeah.
If you remember that, and of course,
Okay.
Roswaal's been trying to turn Subaru into a certain kind of person or something. If I remember correctly, he's trying to forge Subaru into, I think, like Roswaal, just that sort of character. And I believe he's making him choose between Emilia and people at the mansion. And I think we're just it's been so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's.
You remembered that quite well.
Yeah, I think right now we start just kind of seeing how Subaru will figure all this out. Another big thing was we didn't really talk about last episode. I remember, or our last reaction was that Satella said to Subaru that he needs to kill her.
Oh yeah.
If you remember that. So I'm wondering if that's like you don't remember that.
No.
Is that the tea party with all the other witches?
Okay.
Things are starting to click, baby.
Maybe that's sort of an end goal of the series. And yeah, at the end of the last episode, Otto was there. Remember Otto? Kind of smacked Subaru.
Best boy Otto.
Yeah, best boy Otto. Because Subaru's been trying to hide things from him, I believe, and Otto kind of.
Oh yeah.
Just
laid the smackdown.
Yeah, just seeing right through it, seeing right through Subaru. So best boy Otto knows what's going on.
R.I.P. Otto.
All right, Tabor,
Wait
do
a
you have
second,
it?
he's not dead.
Tabor, you got
You never
any
know.
predictions for the whole show? It's been 3 months.
The entire show. Let me see here.
Yeah,
I haven't been
'cause
thinking about it because I've
Our
been
last
trying to
video,
ignore it.
last video you said, you know,
Okay, so going based off of what I remember, which is what you just said, was I
okay,
think Otto's definitely gonna get blasted. I think
I think
Best Boy
it's
Otto is
so,
definitely gonna get blasted.
one of the beloved characters has to die.
Has to.
It's gonna happen.
Just
Yeah,
it has to happen.
yeah. There has to be
One of
some
them's gonna
If it's
die.
emotion.
Best Boy Otto, oh well.
No, it's gonna be
But I
terrible.
think
Don't say oh
Otto ain't
well.
dying. No,
no, it's gonna
Otto's
be oh
his
well
only
because we
friend.
don't know who yet, so it's oh well right now. I definitely
I'm-
think that our boy Subaru is gonna save everybody because that's just how it has to happen. I can't think of any other outcome than he saves all of them.
yeah, it's gonna be a
That's-
happy ending.
Gotta make sacrifices. Gotta make sacrifices.
But if anything,
Emilia,
fuck the people at the hotel or the mansion.
fuck the hotel.
What, Petra and
Fuck the
freaking
hotel. Yeah,
hotel?
Little,
Petra and
little
Frederica?
Petra,
Little pet.
little
Oh,
pet
yeah.
and Fred.
What were you saying about Amelia, Zach?
Oh, I'm still calling it. Emilia is.
Oh, you're still on about
Stella.
that.
It's gonna happen. There's gonna be some connection, some very serious connection, and Subaru's gonna have to kill Emilia. Calling it.
Better not happen.
Calling it right now.
That's all I'm
It's gonna
saying.
happen.
I'm actually
end the show
on
there.
boat with Zach. I believe it.
Yeah.
2
See,
against 1,
Tabor
still right.
wants it. See, you
Best
heard
girl
it.
Amelia
He wants
will
it.
not die.
No,
No.
it's obviously
He's gonna
Best Girl
say-
Petra.
Well,
So suck my ass.
What?
He's gonna have to sacrifice Emilia to save Rem. And then Rem,
Yeah, and then
that's
Rem
the
is gonna
right
die
choice,
too.
of course.
I'm not even gonna get into this.
Alright, yeah, just start.
Yeah. Well, let me just. All right.
I'm ready for
Here
this
we go.
intro.
I think
man.
this-
I'm excited.
I hope we get a no opening. I think there is, and I think this.
No,
is
that's
actually-
true. There probably won't be an opening.
I hope
Yeah,
there.
it'll probably
Okay.
just be a
what-
full it's 28 minutes. Might be just a full episode.
Yeah. So here's Otto punching Subaru.
Oh yeah. Okay.
We thought he was gonna kill Subaru the first time.
何をどうしたらいいか分かんなくて頭の中しっちゃかめっちゃかなんでしょ
Best boy Otto.
手を差し伸べなきゃいけないところばっかり超えてるなら返事しろよ
Damn.
何をしやがる
All right.
Oh my.
Oh shit.
頭に登ったかと思えば
Best bully
あと
Otto.
は足元がおろそかまさに夏希さんの行動そのものと言えますね
Otto's just.
情けない
Oh.
He's just a dick, dude.
Otto's giving him what he deserves. Oh, what the?
Oh my god.
Like,
夏希さんの力
He's been
Otto's
playing a lot of
badass.
Yakuza.
惚れた女の前でカッコつけるのは結構で分かってんでしょ届かないの知ってんでしょ好きな子にカッコつけたいんでしょ好きでいてくれる子に誇れる自分でいたいんでしょなら誰かの手を借りたらいいじゃない
just wants to help him.
例えば
Because he doesn't have any character development.
話したらいいか言ってみてくださいよ最後まで聞きますからいやでもそれじゃだからカッコつけんなって言ってんでしょ
Can't really tell him
やや
everything.
こしいことうだうだと考えてる暇があったら全部ぶちまけろってそうは言っても俺はそのごちゃごちゃを全部話せそして最後に信じろって言やいいんですよ友達なんだから
Hell yeah.
信じてもらえねえかもしれないんだけど
No way.
Are we doing it? Are we doing it?
Oh, I thought it was the open.
Get Jude.
Oh.
Damn it. Next episode.
Oh, what's he doing?
Oh, he's back. He's back. Oh.
Oh.
I'm not ready for this. So can Roswaal?
What's up?
Does he know he returns by death? I forgot.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
much.
He,
okay.
Yeah.
he knew
Alright,
something
alright.
of the sort was going on.
He just
Alright,
doesn't know
alright.
how
returned,
he.
but he doesn't know how, but he knows that something like that happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
ここが俺とお前の最 最後の勝負だ。この集会で俺は必ず聖域を、屋敷を救ってみせる。お前の思惑も何もかもぶっちぎって。
この罪の盤面から立て直すと、君の唯一の権能、その力を放棄して。
やり直せることと救えることは話が別だ。俺もお前も思い上がってた。俺のこれはそんなに便利なもんじゃない。
今回を最後だとして、私に何を求めるというんだい？
俺の要求は簡単だ。俺が聖域と屋敷両方とも救ったら、お前は本を捨てて一緒に来い。エミリアを王様にする。そのためにはお前の力が必要だ。
その上で私すら必要だと取り込み、未来のための礎に加えると。
Fuck is going on with that?
I don't know.
それが一体どれほど強欲な答えなのかということだ。
Oh.
と決まれば行動開始させてもらうぜ。
スバル君、聖域の雪も屋敷への襲撃も3日後だ。せいぜい検討し惨敗してほしい。
3 days.
ロズワール、調子が狂うからまたピエロの化粧しろよ。運命に翻弄されるピエロ同士、正々堂々やろうぜ。
I don't
Well,
know if you should
damn.
believe that Roswaal's gonna fight fair. I don't know. I don't know about that one.
yeah, it sounds like Subaru's challenging him. If he can solve these two scenarios, then I guess Roswell's gonna, be by Subaru's side and make Emilia the ruler. That's what I got from it.
Alright. Yeah, I guess we got the ground set for this the rest of the season.
So, yeah, in 3 days, the stuff at the sanctuary. Well, if you remember those bunnies, bunny attack, and then of course the mansion and the mansion. So Subaru, yeah, they are kind of cute.
Oh,
So he's got to solve both of those on the
So-
The
somehow.
only way to defeat the bunnies is to
Oh, what was it?
kill all of
kill
them
all
at
of them.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're drawn
See-
by
Only way.
man.
What were they called? That was one of like the beasts or something. What were they
The
called?
mobbies.
The like
I
the
can't
main
remember.
ones, because the whale's one of them, right? Then the bunnies.
Yeah. I'm
Then
not sure
there's
what
some
they're
other ones
called.
too. I forgot what they were called. It's been so long.
Yeah, I
We'll have to
cannot
do-
remember.
We'll have to figure it out after.
All right.
Alrighty, Ram, go away.
Hey. Be
Ah,
nice.
Give you a kiss.
ロズワールの行動に納得してるのか？もう本の記述とずれてるんだ。ロズワールは自由なんだよ。
Ooh,
アドバイスしてくれるなんて。
cold.
あいつも俺のこと
Stubborn as always.
まだ言ってんですかそれ。夏希さんがどれだけラムさんを信用してるかは分かりました。それで肝心の辺境泊とは？
守備は上々。賭けは成立したぜ。
それはよかった。
俺はまだエミリアの傷に触れてもない。結局ビビってたんだろうな。
まったくですね。順序を気取らないでくださいよ。
お前な。してもお前も分の悪い賭けに乗るもんだ。
そうですね。賞賛度外視で勝ち目のない方に乗っかるのはこれが初めてです。
That's cool. So yeah, I was also wondering if we'll be able to see what Emilia's past has been like, what her trial is. Been pretty curious about that, but
Oh yeah, they never
You guys
explained
know
what she
that
went through.
episode where she like experiences like it's all about her. Do you guys not watch that episode?
the
It's
OVA,
an OVA.
Frozen.
Yeah.
I've seen that, of
Was-
course.
So you know a little bit of it. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's a lot like that.
But
Yeah,
you've
I
seen
still
that
need to
tape?
watch that.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I watch that?
Wow. Okay. I didn't think you'd just watch it, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be in the same timeline or in the whatever the forest, the
Yeah,
white,
something like
whatever
that.
it was, continuation of that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Hopefully they show it. Oh yeah, this whole thing.
Oh, oh yeah.
Ryuzu. That's the original.
すでにわしのことは相当詳しく知っとるようじゃな。
お察しの通り、大体のことは網羅してる。リュウズさんが実は聖域の解放に反対なのは知ってるけど。
わしが聖域の解放に反対？
もしかして反対してないの？あれ？そんなバカな。あの時はどうして？
ルガワル4体でな。
最初の4人ってのは聞いたな。じゃあリュウズさん以外にもあと3人。俺の名前は夏木スバル。リュウズさん、あんたの名前は？
わしの名はリュウズアルマ。
Arma.
最初の副隊4人のう
I
ち
know
の
there's a
一人
Rizu Bilma.
わしはリュウズ
Yeah.
Bilma?
Aru.
Oh,
That one's
okay.
Bilma.
Yeah.
And
俺
it's
が
like,
最
yeah.
初に会ったリュウズさんはビルマって名乗ってた。最初からリュウズさんに隠すつもりはなかったんだな。
だし、リュウズシーマ。最初の4人から欠けた1人。
Exception.
その者だけは例外じゃ。
リュウズシーマ。
口外はせん。リュウズシーマの名にかけて誓おう。およそ10年前、問題を起こしてな。以来、監督者の役割を外れ、他の複製体と同じく森に潜んでおる。
Oh, so she's a bad copy?
I guess so.
今は3人で演じておる。
Interesting.
Yeah, if you remember, she was with Garfiel, and they had Subaru get locked up. If you remember that,
Oh,
underground.
the bad. Oh, okay.
And then Otto can save Subaru.
Oh, that was that one.
今は3人で演じておるよ。
その問題って？
創造主である魔女との制約に逆らい
She followed the contract with the witch by entering the graveyard.
墓所の試練に
When
挑ん
he
で
broke
戻
the
らなかったガーボーを連れ戻しにな。
Oh.
He's-
役目を外れたシーマとはわしもずっと
What?
Yeah, so Garfield tried to do the trial.
Okay. He died?
I don't think.
He almost died.
Yeah, and I think that's why Shima went in there, and I guess she's not supposed to.
Oh,
Then she got in
okay.
trouble or something.
Broke the rules.
Oh.
ガーボーの家族のことは知っておるのか？
Not at all.
ああ、フレデリカが
Except for
ガーフィール
Frederica.
の父親違いの姉ちゃんだ。
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, they have different fathers. That's right.
10年前に聖域の外。
とガーフィール・キンゼルと名乗る。
Garfield.
あの子の母親の家名じゃ。それをわしは忘れないために名乗っていると思っておる。それが怒りだったのか、悲しみじゃったのか。知っておるのはあの子とシーマだけなんじゃろうな。
I mean, does he hate his mother or not? I must miss him.
エミリアと？
I don't know.
Oh, what is she doing?
どうしたのよ。
What is she doing down there?
Alright.
寝相が悪くて
Oh,
ごめん。
We've all been there.
本当はちょっと寝つけなくて。
wow.
大丈夫。ちゃんと夜までにはぐっすり休んでおくから。
もうすぐ昼なのに、今から夜まで寝る宣言だなんて。エミリアと怠惰ですね。
その言い方、なんだかすごく変な気分。スバルの意地悪。
What a dick.
Zach, come on.
エミリア、君が試練で何を見たのか。
Oh.
話してくれる気はある。
Oh,
Are we
Jordan.
getting into
Did you
it?
call it? You might have just called it.
なんて気休めは言わない。でも、話してくれればいい。
I don't know if I'll show it, but maybe we can learn a little.
We'll see.
君と同じ敵と戦う仕事をくれないか。
How will she respond? Well, should I even want to talk about it?
I guess not.
私のこと、私が見た過去は、多分、私が眠る前の記憶だと思う。
Before I went to sleep?
So that's before she was in the forest alone. Because in the forest, they're all frozen. And when she went
Oh.
to sleep is when she got frozen. Jess, right here.
Is
I
this
never
from-
told you that I was frozen in ice for
Oh,
a long time, did I?
Oh, this was in the OVA, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
should
I
have watched the
thought-
OVA.
This is before the OVA.
This is before,
Oh,
yeah.
it's before the OVA?
Yeah.
It's a prequel to a prequel.
Oh.
私の長い間氷の中で眠り続けてたんだって。
いつから？
多分6つか7つくらいの時で、
Damn.
森に凍るまではみんなで暮らしてたはずで。
6. Wow.
前のことはあまり覚えてないの。
エミリアの
Wait, how old is Emilia?
I'm pretty sure she's
Do we know?
18. There's another OVA. That
Oh,
you
well.
have no- It's not as important
Decisions.
as the first Bonds, but yeah.
Still
Pretty sure
watch
she's
him, I
18.
guess.
森に私の家族はいなかったの。でもお母さんみたいな人はいて。
Oh.
あれ？なんで？お母さん？
落ち着いて、ゆっくりでいい。みんなどうなったんだ？
私と同じで。
Frozen?
森の中に
Oh.
氷で暮らしながらずっとみんなが目を覚ま
Oh.
This is part of the OVA.
Yeah,
This is
that.
Doctor. Was this Dr. Stone?
But in the
Essentially
OVA,
the
we
same
didn't
thing.
know those were her parents, I don't think.
Really?
どうして森のことと王政
Yeah. Oh, I left.
王戦に参加したの。
どうして森のことと王戦に関係が？
ロスワールが約束してくれたの。
Oh.
Oh. You've seen. What?
Fuck.
Fuck you, Roswaal.
Every other second, it's like I hate him, and then I like maybe he's a good guy.
Maybe
but
he's
then it's
alright.
like back to fuck you.
Back to
It's every time, every time.
So that's why she said her reason is selfish a few episodes ago.
それが君が言ってた。
Yeah,
mean,
the
it's
selfish
understandable.
reason.
ってやつか。エミリア。
Good night.
Oh.
And night. Throw her on the bed.
思い出せないエミリアの記憶。そこに試練を超える
Hold some
手がかり
clue.
がある。
Get through the trial.
あ
エミリアが思い出せなくても、知ってるやつに聞けば。
That's oh,
Puck.
We haven't seen Puck in like
Is Puck coming back?
3,000 years.
I know. Was he in this season at all? Or...
Ah, that's the second episode. Oh, what is he?
Uh-oh. Well, R.I.P. Super.
Oh, what?
Oh.
What? What? But
Guess she's just been
Spin
chilling in the
you-
crystal the whole time.
He's just no. Pause. Before he went into the sanctuary, he said, "You need to look
take
after her now."
take care of Emilia. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Wha-
probably another reason why
But
he's just
why?
not showing up.
Oh,
There's a reason that we don't know yet. We're about to find out.
Are we now?
having a different shift.
I miss Puck.
気軽に消すとか言うな。
Oh.
ずっと中にはいたんだけどね。でもよく呼び出してくれたね。僕は嬉しいよ、スバル。
What?
Is that OVA?
That's not the OVA.
That isn't. Oh, it's new.
Little girl Emilia. Freaking adorable.
She's so cute. What
She's
the
so
fuck?
cute,
Uh-oh.
bro.
They gotta show more of that.
We're sure we're gonna see it.
Oh, yeah, it's just here.
いつもよりちょっと体が小さいかな。
Little
Damn.
dude.
限界が早そうだね。まあ、意識して契約を破ろうとするんだから、
What?
命令としての
What?
株を奪われても仕方ないのかな。
Trying to break the contract.
契約を破る
That's fucked up.
There's a reason, I'm sure.
これまでも
I've been.
トリオのそばにいたよ。
She doesn't need a contract.
Oh, yeah.
She just wants to be. Alright. I say she, but he.
You're on your own, Chief. Oh no.
No. No.
See you later, Puck.
ごめんねリア。
Puck, what are you
ちゃ
doing?
んと説明してあげたいのに時間がないや。すごく悔しいけど、君のことは僕の次に君を大事に思っている子に任せるよ。何言ってるの？
Obviously, Subaru
Yeah.
idiot.
リア、君と僕との間の契約を
Puck, no.
一方的で
Well, that was fast.
Oh, what the frick?
僕がいなくなれば記憶の蓋が外れるよ。そこできっと
Oh,
リアはたくさん悲しい思いをする。
shouldn't get her memories back though.
かもしれない。
Are you
エミリア、
kidding?
あなたのことすごく愛してる。
That's your mommy.
それでいいんだよ。リア、
Is Puck her mom?
君を
No,
世界
No way.
愛してる。
no.
Oh.
That what she just heard was her memory getting
Okay.
was like being released from
I'm
the sealage.
I'm holding
Oh,
out hope.
God.
Puck best mom.
Is Puck just.
Puck.
It's such a sad moment. You're like, Puck was small.
God.
Ever.
Oh, it is
Puck's
sad.
breaking the contract so she can pass the trial so that
Yeah.
she can.
But are we ever gonna see Puck again?
Probably not.
Absolutely, because he definitely made one with Subaru. Obviously.
Oh yeah.
What if he?
Or
Maybe
he
you're
just
on
never
to
seem-
comes
something.
back. Who knows? Who
Or
knows?
that, yeah.
No, I'm holding
Got
on to the
two
Subaru thing.
we got two
Gives me hope.
choices here. We'll see which one is
No, it's
right.
gonna be with Otto.
Oh.
Don't
Not
even
Subaru.
stop it.
愛してる。
Oh my god. Oh.
Poor
When are you
Amelia.
gonna bonk her head on the headboard?
Ugh. Dies.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Screw you guys. Screw you.
I'm sorry, Jordan.
エミリア様が倒れて。
Sorry.
ああ、精霊使いが精霊にいなくなられちまった。それで取り乱して墓所への挑戦を見送られちゃ世話
They already know.
I guess so.
そういう電波になってるって思いたいの。
とにかく君
あ
手握ってて。朝までここにいてくれる？そうしたらきっと私は。ごめんね。ごめんね。お願い。
こんなことでいいならお安い御用だよ。朝に明日になればだ。俺は信じてるよ。
Oh.
Mom?
ごめんね、エミリア。
What?
It's gotta be your mom.
Is that, oh shit.
ついたみんなを嫌いにならないで。エミリア、あなたのことすごく愛してる。
Oh my god.
What?
Amelia's mom is Satella, calling it.
Oh, Zach, I
Please,
can never.
That's just the furthest left turn I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Put a pot
I just-
back.
Imagine.
Where her mom is in her eyes. Pause it.
In her what?
Buffering.
Her mom is in her little
Reflection.
eyes. Yes.
Her little Amelia eyes?
Yes. Pause it then. That's proof that it's not her.
No, we'll see.
Boom.
No,
that's
that's
not her
that's
at
Satella
all.
right there. That's
Exactly.
Satella right there.
That's not her at all.
I'm
I'm
about to boot you out of
calling
here.
it. You guys are gonna be so pissed off when you find out it's actually her.
It's actually a web novel reader.
Imagine.
Yeah.
I
Zach
would-
actually
Just knows
knows
everything.
what's going on.
I'm gonna be angry if that's true. I'm actually gonna be.
Ridiculous.
エミリア、ごめんなさい。あなたを守りたいと、優しい嘘をついたみんなを嫌いにならないで。
This might not even be her mom.
Oh, that's true.
すごく愛して
Now, what did her mom say? If it may, I didn't even read it. Like, all the people who told you that kind lie, they wanted to protect you. What lie?
They lied that they wanted to protect her, but they didn't.
Oh,
愛してる。
That's what that means.
I thought you said they lied
I'm
to.
sorry they
Wait,
told you that kind of lie that they wanted to protect you, meaning that they lied that they wanted to protect her. Right?
all the
Yeah,
people.
it sounds
Oh
solid.
yeah, I read it wrong. Sorry,
エミリア、
my bad, my bad.
あなたのこと
It's all good.
すごく。フォルトナ母様の嘘つき、
Mother Fortuna.
パックの嘘つき、
Oh,
スバルの
What? What do you?
Wait,
What
what
did
did I
you
just
do?
miss? Oh. She's
Uh-oh.
thinking that
What?
memory is about them. Like that memory's like, I'm sorry that they lied that they wanted to protect you. She's probably thinking that Puck and Subaru didn't want to protect her. Maybe,
oh,
maybe,
maybe.
That's
Puck
I don't know if I'm.
Makes sense with
I-
Puck. I don't know about Subaru.
But I think that's what the memory being like unlocked at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fucking say it
Yeah,
properly.
yeah, yeah.
The seal being broken. There we go.
Yeah.
It's like now she's like, oh shit, maybe this ain't.
Maybe they don't.
Ain't
Yeah,
it. Maybe this ain't.
she's
It.
having conflicting thoughts.
Oh, wait, no. I wonder if that was Mother Fortuna. Maybe she's calling them all liars.
That's
Mother Fortuna. She's
possible.
Yeah. Do we know who that is, or am I being dumb?
no. We that's the first time I think
We thought it
heard.
was her
Yeah,
mom,
so
but
that could be her right there, the person that just ran up to her. And then,
Oh yeah, that could be. Yeah, that's.
oh
what I'm
yeah.
pretty sure. She's talking about Mother
Okay,
Fortuna.
What? Oh
ran away.
god
What?
damn
What?
it.
No.
エミリア様
Sorry. If the end episode ends up with her dead or something.
ラム、何の騒ぎだ。
ガーフ、エミリア様がどこへ行ったか知らない？
何？
Maybe she's in the.
エミリア様
I
が
don't
行方を
know.
くらまされたのよ。今手分けして探しているところ。
わかった。俺様も心当たりを探れ。
Put some shoes on, idiot. Fuck.
ババア、起きてるか？
Wow.
姫様探して誰か来るかもしんねえからどっか行っと。
Oh, Ryuzu's gone.
ババア。
Oh.
Subaru has her.
Huh.
Bet.
All right.
妙な胸騒ぎがしやがる。
What is happening?
Oh. What?
Yeah, that's the original Crystal. Original Ryuzu, I mean.
ババア、いるのか？
She's not guarding her.
まさかあいつら。
Oh, they're in the.
ご期待に添えなくて申し
Wait.
訳ありません
What?
What? Who's that? Is that Otto?
Auto?
He's gonna beat the shit out of him?
早めなのは承知の上で出張らせても
What
ら
is-
いました。
What is happening? So,
本当は
is she
ここで
distracting him, maybe?
つもりだったんですよ。
Oh. Speech 100.
ねえ、リュウズ、いえ、シーマさんに同席していただいて、あなたと話し合いを。
Is he gonna awaken Ryuzu?
ただね、エミリア様のことは。
Wait, I'm so confused.
I don't know.
とはいえ、すでにあれこれ悪巧みしてしまった後だったので、宴の主催者が不在の間、
What?
代役などはいかがでしょう。
What?
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Dude, is Otto actually gonna be like a secret
Is Otto Roswaal?
superhero?
I-
Like,
Run it back. Run it back. I need to think.
Yeah,
Run it
something's
back.
going on with Otto.
I need to.
He's too
I'm
co-
gonna
he's too,
rewatch this.
he's too cocky right now.
I need to think.
So
What's up,
Ryuzu's
dude?
gone.
Ryuzu's gone.
Emily,
Amelia's
Amelia's
gone.
gone.
He's looking
Subaru's
for her
gone.
now. And
Otto's here.
So Otto wasn't expecting her to run away. I'm assuming that's what he meant. By
Yeah.
The Emilia thing. Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah. Ryuzu's supposed to be Otto, apparently, maybe?
No. That's
No?
definitely not it.
He expected her to.
Because he says something different. Hold on. Okay, pause
Did they
it.
switch?
They
What?
didn't switch
Like,
because they're not here, right?
they're not here. Yeah.
So, what did they talk about when they were drinking coffee again, or whatever the fuck they were drinking? They were talking
were
about how
Subaru.
yeah.
The
when they failed the
miasma.
trial. Oh wait, maybe
Oh,
miasma.
No.
did
They
that
were like just then. That was a flashback to just then that Subaru was doing. Wasn't affiliated with the witch. They were.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's what he's thinking back to, and now she's gone.
So, what is? I don't get it.
And he thinks
Me either. Hold on. We'll talk it out after this.
sorry to disappoint you.
What
How's
if Otto's
Otto a
evil?
magician? My friend asked for
Imagine
my
if he's.
someone
he's a
asked.
merchant, so I'm sure he has to know something.
He's working with Roswaal.
No, he's working with Subaru, you fucking idiot.
Well, he said a
Okay.
friend
Shut
asked
it.
him to
Shut
help.
up, dude.
You can only assume
Yeah, a
that
friend.
Subaru.
It's only Subaru. Yeah.
Yeah, Subaru's like his only friend.
That's what
Playing the
Roast right there.
I want to talk to you with you.
Okay, pause it.
Oh.
So he
Was
was
Shima-
expecting Shima, which is the
Shima's the bad
one,
The bad
Yeah.
one,
Be
yeah.
here. to be here
Okay.
with him.
He
That's what he was
because
expecting. But now he's also not expecting that Emilia is now gone. Okay.
okay, that's because Shima like saved Garfield, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
makes
she
They did
broke
save
that.
Garfield,
Alright.
the orange cat. Yes.
She's
Fair
not like a
enough, fair.
watcher.
No.
Supervisor, not a watcher.
Not the host of the bank. Is away.
Pause right here. How would you like to play the host
What does that mean?
So the
Oh. Wait, to
What am I
guard the
missing?
Banquet of
crystal?
the host.
Is he gonna be a supervisor now? Because that's what it is now. That's what they're called. Like they're switching supervisor roles. All the three of them are switching out.
So
Yeah.
Garfield's gonna be guarding Ryuzu?
Maybe.
Maybe. Alright.
It's definitely possible.
God.
Yeah, I mean that makes the most sense. I think.
I feel like we're just like.
Oh,
skipping,
oh,
like-
oh.
Oh shit. Okay, she's doing it. Oh no, she's not.
Oh.
Oh.
No.
Oh, that's it.
Alright.
Are we gonna talk about it? Or are we just gonna vibe to the next episode?
We're doing a double feature.
I don't know.
I'm
If I swear, those guys. I can never get a good outro. Can never get a good outro with these guys. So I will be doing that myself. We were gonna end up discussing everything after the second episode we were gonna watch, but I had some technical difficulties. So we were not able to watch the second one in this one session here. So I guess I will be the one just closing things off here and discussing a little bit. But yeah, overall solid first episode. I really enjoyed that. I'm sure the other guys did too. I'm pretty sure we heard a snippet of the opening. I'm pretty sure that's the opening song. It sounds like the singer from the Mythroid. I don't know if she's still in that band, but I'm pretty sure that is her, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be the opening, so I'm excited to hopefully see that soon. You know, the Otto and Subaru moment in the beginning was really nice as well, even if Otto kind of put Subaru on blast. But what can you do? Yeah, it was really nice for them. Really nice moment. you know, when they're talking, Subaru's like, I've already asked for help. I've done this and that. It doesn't work, whatever. And Otto's like, you haven't asked me. Not just that was a really nice moment for me. I really enjoyed that. So yeah, we saw Otto put Subaru down, saw him lift him back up. They had a little discussion. They didn't show kind of the aftermath of that discussion, like the Otto's reaction, you could say. But in the light novel, I've already recorded the light novel stuff before I did this little outro. But in the light novel, if you stay until if you watch that part, we'll get to see kind of what Otto thinks about all that and how Subaru explained things. And there's a bunch of dialogue there, which is gets pretty interesting. And then we move on to the confrontation with Roswaal. Subaru put his foot down and made a straight bet, as you could say. So yeah, if I remember correctly, Subaru has 3 days until the events happen with the sanctuary and the mansion. So he's got to find a way to deal with all that in 3 days, and if he fails, then Roswaal will win that bet, and it's pretty much over for Subaru. So Subaru's definitely got to get a foolproof plan. He's got to figure out something, and I'm sure he will. I think we all know what's gonna happen, because if he fails, then it'll just be terrible. I don't know what to say. I don't even know where the show would go if that happened. If Subaru failed, so we'll probably see him win that bet. But how he will win that, what plan he will have, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? Yeah, it was cool to see Subaru put his foot down in front of Roswaal and have all this confidence in himself, and be able to do that. I'm proud of Subaru, man. He's come a long way. He's come a long way. And then of course the Ryuzu thing, and I believe it was the middle of the episode. I can't remember her last name. Ryuzu something. How there's a Bilma, a Shima. Yeah, we got a lot of little information there. We learned a bit about Garfiel, his relationship with his mother. A little bit of his relationship with Shima. Because apparently Shima and Garfiel are pretty close. She went into the trial, which was, as we know, is forbidden for her to do. She broke that vow, I guess you could say. And she dragged him out. So I guess her and Roswaal, her and Garfiel have a pretty close-knit relationship, and the events that previously happened when they're together makes a little more sense now. Of course, another little tidbit of important information is that the Ryuzu that Subaru was talking to isn't against liberating the sanctuary. Actually, now that I think about it, Subaru probably thought the Ryuzu he was talking to was Shima, and Shima is probably not pro-liberation. Or maybe she is. I don't think she is. So that's probably why Subaru was confused and kind of shocked that the Ryuzu he was talking to was like, no, I'm for it. We're good. Do what you need. Then we had a few Emilia moments, which, me, I'll take those. I'll take those, man. I always enjoy those. We get a tiny little snippet of her past for a mother. Gosh, I can't remember her name. I cannot remember her name. What's her name? Whatever. Anyway, we get a little tidbit of her mother. And of course, we have to see little Emilia, which is cute. I'm sure once we see Emilia or assuming she's taking the trials, we'll get a little more, or probably a lot more, about her relationship with her mother. And I mean, we haven't even seen her father, so hopefully we see her father in there in the trial and see what the hell conspired during her childhood. Like what happened? Why is all her friends, family frozen? I don't think the OVA touched on that. But I'm sure during the trial we'll definitely get a lot of information about Emilia's past that we don't already know. Speaking of her past, Puck, what the hell? What the hell, man? Puck. You can't do me like that. Like, you broke Emilia's heart? Well, you broke my heart too, man. No, I mean, Puck had his reasons. Amelia got her memories back. She's gonna be able to take the trial, complete it, and I don't know if Puck's gonna make a return. I'm sure he is. Puck's like an integral part of the show. I couldn't imagine the show without Puck. So we better be seeing Puck soon enough in the future. I know I've said this many times before, but again, it's really nice to see how far Emilia and Subaru's relationship has come over these, I want to say months. I don't know what the timeline is. I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 months. How far the relationship has come, when they're alone and Emilia wants Subaru to stay with her during the night. I didn't catch it during the reaction, but now I understand like why she was mad at Subaru. And that reason was because he didn't stay with her. He left. That's why, she was like, Subaru, you liar. Puck, you liar. Mother, you liar. It definitely makes a lot more sense now. So yeah, breaking promises with Emilia, not the way to go, Subaru. Not the way to go, man. And yeah, that's basically the most of the it's the gist of the episode there. At the end, we just see Subaru finding Emilia, and I'm sure they'll talk it out. We'll get a lot more information about her. Subaru will probably help bring her back up. I have a feeling something big is gonna happen with them. I don't know. Whenever there's just Subaru and Emilia time, there's always something. Something's gonna go down, I swear. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say for this outro. The light novel comparison will be right after this, so if you're interested in that, you can stay for that, or if not, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you all, and I hope you forgive me for how long this is taking me to get out these videos. It's been kind of hard for me lately. My schedule's been crazy. So I do appreciate you all. If you're still sticking around waiting, it definitely means a lot. So thank you guys. But yeah, have a damn good day or night, wherever you are. And I, and Tabor, and Zach will see you in the next episode, and I hope they actually stay in the outro with me. Thank you guys. Alrighty, everyone. Welcome to the light novel comparison part of this video. If you didn't see the intro, this is where I will be rewatching the episode while looking through volume 13 here. And yeah, I'm gonna go through the episode and the book at the same time and just see if there's any noticeable difference I cannot speak. Just basically just seeing if there's anything interesting that could not make it into the anime, like maybe some certain scenes or any interesting dialogue, things like that. So yeah, this episode takes place on chapter 3 of the book, and this is volume 13, and I believe it goes until the end of chapter 4. So yeah, that's what I will be doing. I will probably be just either speeding the clip up, or I'll just cut to the parts where I find something interesting. So without further ado, let's go. So actually, in this scene, in the book, Otto says a lot more stuff to Subaru here. A lot more demeaning stuff. Like here, in this whole conversation, he says, to even think you face the white whale and the witch cult, Mr. Natsuki, you are so weak they could crush you with but a single finger. Surely, you two are well aware of this. You supplement your strength with intellect then. So far as my eyes have seen, Mr. Natsuki, you have made fervent use of the puny head at your disposal, but in terms of planning and decision-making capabilities, you certainly do not rise to a level that one could take pride in. Indeed, your common sense is quite lacking. Then he goes on to say, you lack both strength and intellect. When I ponder what you might supplement these with, I can think of nothing. Mr. Natsuki, you are a puny, ordinary human being, the sort one can find on any street, and yet you are living far beyond your means. And then he goes on to mention, in the book it says, Subaru's land dragon's name is Patlash, so I'm just going to call it the land dragon Patlash. I know it's wrong, the translation is wrong, but Otto goes on to mention Patlash, and here's what he says. I imagine that knowing full well you are lacking with things beyond your reach, you gradually attempted to come up with various plans, driving yourself further and further into a corner. Truly understand how Patlash feels. And it says Subaru was more surprised and perplexed at the sudden mention of his beloved dragon. Then it goes on to say, she was an excellent land dragon who was practically wasted on Subaru, and in his time of need, she had told him exactly what he needed to hear. He owed her a great deal. Otto was saying he understood her feelings. So from what I'm getting from this is that this whole thing with Otto, this whole interaction with Otto is because of Otto's gift, I guess you could call it, or a blessing. I can't remember exactly what term this world uses, but I'll just say his blessing. Because of his blessing, I guess Otto was able to maybe somewhat communicate with Patlash and understand her feelings. And maybe because of that, Otto had a better idea of what's going on in Subaru, and he kind of was able to figure out from that something was up with Subaru that he was hiding. So yeah, I think this whole thing was because of Subaru's land dragon. And yeah, after that, it pretty much, well, obviously I haven't seen the full scene, but it pretty much stays the same. Mentions Emilia, Ram as well. I think they mentioned Ram in the anime, or in this episode. Yeah, pretty much the same as the anime onwards. So let's continue on here. There might be something else. Okay, so in this episode, this ending here, I think this is right before Subaru starts telling him things, or explaining his situation to Otto. Right. So in the anime, it just stops here. It doesn't show Otto's reaction to things, or it doesn't really show anything about how Subaru explains his circumstances. And the book kind of does the same thing. It's not gonna show him telling Otto absolutely everything. That would take forever. But anyways, here's a part of that conversation that wasn't able to make it in this episode. So Roswaal is ordering assassins to attack the mansion, basically to push Emilia and me into a corner, leaving no place for either of us to run. Subaru finished his explanation, heedful of the minor details, for fear of violating his taboo, of course. All the while, Otto had been creasing his brow, silent as he lent Subaru's ears. At this moment in time, this is all the information I have. There's nothing more to hide. Of course, his explanation had left out the things he can speak of, the witch's tea party and the return by death. As that left crucial gaps in his story, it was fair to say his explanation was chock full of holes. The logical threads connecting various pieces of information were so frayed, even he thought they sounded strange. That was how much he was waiting with bated breath for Otto's reaction to the explanation he had received, the reaction of the same Otto who had just declared that all he had to do was just stick "believe me" to the very end. Would this become hope or turn into despair? Such worries and expectations had his eardrums on edge. Mr. Natsuki. Alright, so here comes Otto's reaction to all this. Finally, after a long period of silent thought, Otto uncrossed his arms and spoke. Would it be so wrong to turn tail and run without a word to anyone else? What the hell? His reply, which came from a completely unexpected angle, elicited a foul and uncouth voice from Subaru. Faced with that reaction from Subaru, Otto's voice went shrill as he replied, I mean, we are trapped into a hunting ground for the great rabbit. Escape depends on Lady Emilia breaking through at the trial. A prospect that seems doubtful. Even evacuating the people not held captive by the barrier is being obstructed by the ignoramus. And even if somehow we arrive back at the mansion, there are assassins coming on the Lord at the manor's orders. Just how many sins have you been committing on a daily basis for things to turn out like this? Otto is seriously best boy, man. That's what I want to know. Why does this senseless situation have to barrel down like this? I already know, but God must seriously hate me. I hate me too. If there was such a God who governed fate, that deity most definitely hated Subaru, detesting him as if he wore a venomous snake, but resenting that made the situation neither progress nor withdraw, nor its level of difficulty rise or fall. Now, before all that, Otto, I understand why you're getting all worked up, but you actually believe this preposterous story? A horde of demon beasts way beyond trouble is coming our way. Even if we try to run, we can't do anything without Emilia being up to the job. Garfiel's in the way of everyone escaping. And Roswaal has gone insane and betrayed us. You actually believe all this? To any objective person, the bad situations lined up one after another constituted an unfolding nightmare. It seemed far more realistic to think that Subaru alone had become touched in the head than believe everything he said was fact. That's why he hadn't even thought of divulging all this. Even Otto had to. Now see here, Mr. Natsuki. Otto raised one finger as he responded to Subaru's question. In the course of my travels across many lands, I have been involved with a rather considerable number of people. Don't tell me. You can just look into someone's eyes and know whether you can trust them or something? No, and you should not believe in such superstitious nonsense. In my time as a merchant, I have experienced far too much firsthand of just how capable people are of shrouding their gazes in order to deceive others. It is nothing to boast of, but I have some experience with being deceived myself. It really is nothing to boast of, so the fact that he was doing exactly that made it hard to respond. This conversation was too important to make light of any part of it, so Subaru pursed his lips as Otto continued onward. I left my parents home at 14, firmly believing in my abilities as a merchant like any other. The results of that choice were scarcely good, or rather the unbelievable difficulties I encountered when taking chances. Thinking I had a shot at winning made for results that were quite poor, but damn, so Otto left his parents at 14 to become a merchant. At 14 years old, wow. Now, as Subaru says, setting aside whether the results were fair or foul, I intend to live without regretting the decisions themselves. I am the one who placed my trust and made those wages. Something I believe I should remain well aware of. Between them, only Otto knew what choices he was using in the basis of his argument. But he surely meant he had engaged in some rather high-stakes financial battles on his own. Accompanying Subaru to the sanctuary and seeking to connect himself with Roswaal was one such idea. In contrast to expectations, Otto had been acting in a sound, realistic manner. That was why Subaru had doubted Otto would lend his ears to such a basic tale with scarce odds of victory. This is why this is a first for me, Mr. Natsuki. Subaru left his mouth fall open, staring as he wondered just what Otto was trying to say. To that, Otto spoke with a stupidly cheerful look on his face. It was a crisp declaration, ignoring the odds and joining a side with no visible chance of winning. This is the first for me. Then on to the next page. He hurried. He was short of breath. He raised an incoherent voice. Subaru ran across the grass. Irritation. Wait. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is where he goes to talk to Roswaal. So there we go, guys. We're just 2 minutes into this episode. And yeah, I kind of expected that I expected that the novel would be showing this stuff anyways. This kind of conversation with Otto and how Otto responded. But yeah, that's definitely cool to see. I mean, of course, the anime doesn't really need to show this. I mean, you can get the idea that obviously Subaru told him all this and how Otto would respond. Because Otto really believes in Subaru. But yeah, if you were interested in kind of the conclusion of that conversation, then hey, here you go. Also, we get to learn a little more about Otto. To be honest, he left his parents' home at 14. And I guess that's when he started doing this merchant stuff. But yeah, I am going to continue on here. Again, we're only 2 minutes in. This is gonna be a long video. This will be a long video. I'm already 30 minutes into recording this. I don't know how that's possible. My goodness. Either way, here we go, guys. Onwards. All right. So there's a lot of extra dialogue. I am not gonna go through it all because it'll take 20 years. A lot of there's a lot of extra dialogue, but none of it's like super important. That I need to put in this video. But there's one interaction where Subaru actually flips Roswaal off, which I thought was funny, and there's a part where Roswaal, asks Subaru, like, he asks Subaru, how does he know if Subaru's gonna keep his word? Because he could just, revert. Roswaal thinks Subaru can just reverse this situation, like it never happened, in case he fails. So Roswaal wasn't too sure about trusting Subaru to uphold the deal, or the bet rather. And yeah, Subaru kind of just bites back at Roswaal and asks him, "Do you think I'll do that?" And he basically just says to Roswaal, "If you think that, I'll just end the conversation right here." And then, there's nothing more to discuss. And in the book, it says he declared it strong enough that many opponents would break off the discussion in a fit. And it seems that little comment made Roswaal kind of trust him or believe in what he was saying. But again, there's a lot of extra little dialogues everywhere, and I cannot go through them all. Again, we're only 6 minutes in, so I am gonna continue on. Alright, so here, Subaru asks, well, first Ram asks about the conspiracy, and then actually Subaru in the novel responds like this: you really don't beat around the bush, do you? You shouldn't have been listening to me and Roswaal talking away. And she says certainly she was not listening, but she has the means to peek. And of course, that's talking about her power, the use of her clairvoyance, I believe it's called. Clairvoyance, yeah. And when Ram pointed to her own eyes, she remembered that she possessed the power of clairvoyance. The ability allowed her to synchronize within the person's eyes, profiling their vision for her own. And it was through that power that Ram had learned of the pair's wager. And there's some other dialogue, some other extra dialogue down the page. And if you want to read that, I'll leave the page up, of course. But I just wanted to mention that. Oh, and then actually on the next page, Subaru says, "You're the one taking care of his needs. You've seen his black book, haven't you? If I told you what would you do with the answer? I'm taking that as a yes, okay? Subaru interpreted her demeanor as a clear attempt to evade a direct reply, meaning Ram knew of the book of knowledge. Indeed, Ram had not denied Subaru's assertion. So yeah, in that page, obviously, it confirms that Ram knows of the book of knowledge, that black book that Roswaal has been using to see events. And again, there's a lot of more extra dialogue there. I will leave the page up. I cannot go through it all, but the page will be up if you wish to read it all. I mean, hopefully you'll be able to read it all. Hopefully the picture is clear. Well, actually, I guess the anime already implies that she knows about the book, so maybe that was kind of not too important there to add in, but oh well. Alrighty, so let's move on here. The reason my shirt changed because this is the next day, because I had to stop recording since it was getting pretty late. So I just got home and I'm ready to continue on. I'm probably not going to go through the whole episode. I'm probably just gonna choose some key scenes and go through it like that, because if I just keep going through every little thing, it's gonna take like 10 years for me to do this. Like, I'm telling you, we're only 7 minutes in this episode, but I've been recording for over an hour. So if I ever want to get this reaction out, I'm better not do that. So yeah, let's go to. I know there's a couple scenes here I was interested in. So right here, I just thought this is a funny little dialogue that happened in the light novel. It's not very important, but I kind of want to mention it. After Ryuzu here says this, and yeah, sorry that whole thing's been called off. Subaru also says, sorry, that plot line's been scrapped. The editors said the readers don't want to see that. And Ryuzu's like, huh? So again, not very important, but I kind of just wanted to bring that up. I thought that was funny. And also right around here, in this conversation here, another little funny couple sentences here. Ryuzu says, if you wish to ask, you need only exercise your rights as an apostle and ask away. I am sure that at your age, you must love being able to do with a girl as you please, Youngsu. I might be a young man, but your outward appearance is outside my suitable age range. Ryuzu, besides. Then he goes on, I don't want to rely on command rights to talk to blah, blah, blah. Pretty much the same thing as here. But again, just a little dialogue there that's funny. I thought it was funny. So I just wanted to add that in, see if there's anything else here. And there's also a good bit of dialogue that they couldn't add in right before he says, or he asks how to liberate a way to liberate the libertary, or jeez, I not speak or what? A way to liberate the sanctuary, and that he thinks she's against it. So I'll go over a little bit here. So page 110, a few sentences down, Ryuzu says, all I know is that young Roz inherited a book from her lady, the witch, which I'm assuming that's Ekidona. Perhaps his sentiments had gone through, for the surprise in Ryuzu's eyes faded as she haltingly began to speak. Surely one part of what is written within the book is to administer the sanctuary. This and all else is for the sake of greeting the awaited one. Yes, it was a previous generation of Roswaals from which I heard this. And as for the awaited one, I don't know if that's Subaru, if that's talking about Subaru or something else. Then there's some more dialogue, but I won't go over it. Of course, I'll leave the page up if you want to continue reading that. I don't think any of it's like super important, but I'll leave it up anyways. And of course, right here it says Subaru asks her about the sanctuary and that he thinks she's against it. And of course, she says no. And in the book, it explains a little bit about why Subaru had thought that. like how I got the idea of Ryuzu not supporting the liberation. So it says here, previously he had heard from Ram that not all residents of the sanctuary supported its liberation. Some residents were part of the faction that wanted to remain. We knew that, of course. Subaru was already confident that Ryuzu and Garfiel formed the vanguard of this remain faction and were the ones wielding the most influence within it. And this is how he got that thought of Ryuzu not supporting it. Once before, during that loop, Subaru proposed that he liberate the sanctuary on his own. And as we know, that didn't end well for him. But the proposal courted Ryuzu's ire and resulted in Garfiel crushing his plans by force. It could mean only one thing: neither of the two desired a liberation of the sanctuary. And yeah, that's just kind of the reasoning behind this whole little part here. And it also goes on to say, you know, he didn't want to depend on his, you know, the right of his like compulsion as like it's an impostor. That's, you know, why he wanted to settle this through dialogue. He's really against the idea of just using his power, I guess you could say. It's pretty much the same so far. But Ryuzu in the book pesters him a little bit more about why he thinks that, or where did he hear that from. Other than that, it looks about the same. Alright, and pretty much the whole conversation after is basically the same. I guess I'll move on here. So far, this conversation with Emilia has been pretty much the same. But when she mentions that she was frozen in ice for a long time, Subaru has a certain thought, or he had like a certain image in his mind pop up. And the image was the crystal in which the original Ryuzu was sealed in there, frozen in there. There's actually a little bit of some interesting dialogue as well here. After she says she's been sleeping a long time, you know, he heard the keywords ice and forest. And then he says this: I see the internally frozen gray Elior forest. Come to think of it, back at the royal selection meeting, it goes on to say his memories of the opening speech conducted at the site of the royal selection returned to him. With a great throng of people surrounding them in the royal court, Emilia had most certainly spoken of herself, that she had lived in a forest, spending a long time within it, and how she lived in the frozen forest and had been called the Freezing Witch. And in the anime, I believe that did not happen during the whole royal selection thing with all the candidates. That didn't happen at all. I don't think so. Because I remember reading it in the book for the first time, like, wow. And I believe also Puck went out and threatened the like big wigs, whatever you want to call them. Because those guys actually knew of Puck and, you know, where he's from and what kind of beast he is, what kind of spirit he is, such like that. Here she says since she was 6 or 7. And also mentioned here, so the memories you see in the tomb are from before you were frozen. And he asks, and the forest was frozen when? And Emilia responds, apparently it was about 100 years ago. So that's when the forest was frozen, supposedly. And then he goes on to say, I was imagining a span of 10 years, so I wondered if it was off by a digit. I mean, Emilia Tan, you look like you're the same age as I am, so I figured the time frozen was... Then she responds, I kept growing physically while I was inside the ice. That's why, right after I woke up, it was like being in another person's body. Enough to make me trip and slip up all over... Oh, that's so odd. So she was like 6 or 7 years old and she got frozen. Then while in the ice, she kept physically growing. That's wild. And when she got unfrozen, she just went from being a little girl to like, what is she? I don't know, like 17, 18, around there. So it must be extremely weird and confusing for her. So yeah, it says Emilia was around 7 years old when she first slept, and it had been over 100 years or so later when she awoke. In other words, Emilia's chronological age was 107 years old at this point in time. Technically, Emilia is 107 years old. That's some info for you guys right there. Man, I'm gonna keep reading. Actually, it's pretty interesting. So, actually, well, let's see. Let's see what the anime says, just in case I don't reread the same stuff it says in the anime. Okay, nope, definitely not. There's definitely some extra stuff here. So, Emilia Tan, how many extra years has it been since Puck woke you? I think it was probably 6 or 7 years ago. Emilia's reply was not very precise, but the response convinced Subaru that his doubts were true. She was 107 years old after emerging from the ice. From there, she had lived 7 years, making her 114. Oh, it's 114 technically. Okay. Emilia was 114 years old, 18 years old going by outward appearance, and mentally 14 years of age. Oh, that is so interesting. Huh. Emilia was 114 years old, 18 years old going by outward appearance, and mentally 14 years of age. Man, I'm loving this. Hey, any information about Emilia, I'll take. Emilia's my favorite character, so this is great. So yeah, I'll keep reading because there's still some extra stuff going on before she mentions or she thinks about her mother. So let's see here. Real age, apparent age, and mental age, they're all disconnected. The elven blood Emilia had inherited made her age a vague concept in ways not normally possible. At the same time, it resolved many doubts Subaru had about Emilia's behavior. For someone who had lived for over a century, she was fairly ignorant of worldly affairs, often used phrases and gestures that stood out as childish, and from time to time, she liked using words that seemed oddly archaic. All these things could be attributed to the fact that Emilia had spent most of her life sleeping within the ice. 14, that's no different than Feld, so why did this girl have to bear such heavy responsibilities? The competition for the throne, the frozen forests of her homeland, the sanctuary with 4 centuries of stopped time, the suffering pouring down on her are so numerous, so illogical that he wanted to yell, why? Of course, we know that she took this role because I guess she wants to free, I believe she said she wants to free all the frozen people back in the forest. Okay, so let's read on here. Subaru, sorry, and I said I wasn't going to interrupt. While Emilia growing concerned, Subaru forced himself to smile as he responded. Her sufferings with the last royal selection has made his ire for Roswaal grow within his chest. But had it not been for that, Subaru would have never met Emilia, hence his irritation. Emilia, did you live a normal life before the forest froze? I probably did when I lived together with everyone in the forest. When Subaru tried to get the conversation back on track, Emilia touched the hand to her forehead as she replied haltingly. It looked suspiciously like she was enduring some kind of pain. Subaru touched her slender shoulder with a hand. Emilia, are you alright? If it's hard to talk about. It's alright, my memories aren't very clear. Even though I saw my past at the trial, I really didn't understand what I was seeing. You can't remember the memories you saw. Is that even... Whether it was possible was beyond Subaru to judge. Subaru had challenged his past but once, and with that one time, Subaru had overcome the trial. Accordingly, his memories of both his parents were clear, but he didn't know what would have happened to those memories if he failed. There's no guarantee that the trial had been wickedly put together to make repeat challengers suffer, and of course, as we know, since we saw the episode, the reason her memories are, I guess, blurry or missing is because of Puck, her pact with Puck, I think. How about trying to remember one bit at a time? For example, who did you live in the forest with? There was a tiny settlement in the forest. All the elves lived there together. Emilia, what about your family? He wondered about her parents and any siblings with that intent that Subaru asked the question, but he instantly realized his error. Emilia had always spoken of Puck as her only family. That she lost her entire birth family was something he should have deduced without thinking. Don't worry about that. My family wasn't living inside the forest. Everyone was really nice to me, and I liked everyone, but, family. With Subaru regretting his slip, Emilia resolutely smiled and shook her head. There was someone like a mommy to me. She was really gentle, beautiful, amazing. Mommy. She had the look in her eyes like you have, Subaru, just a tiny bit. Still smiling, Emilia was finding something common between Subaru and her memories of her mother. However, that smile abruptly stiffened, and Emilia blinked her eyes several times. And this is where we are in the anime, in this episode, because she's like, why, Mom? Why did I call her that? I'm about to tear up just rewatching this. This isn't fair. It ain't happening. I'm not gonna cry. But yeah, that was a lot of interesting information there. I'm glad I decided to look through this part because yeah, obviously more information about Emilia. That's awesome. 114 years old technically. 14 years of mentally, and I guess physically it's like 18. Again, it's pretty much the same. But Subaru's. I just want to tell you guys about Subaru's thoughts here inside his head when Emilia mentions Roswaal. It's the reason why she left the forest and did this whole throne thing. Subaru imagined his seething blood blotting his entire vision red. Roswaal had used Emilia's pure, innocent wish to lead her out of the forest. That Emilia held the qualifications to join the royal selection was probably written in the book of knowledge. Not because he had any hopes for Emilia, but merely so that he might add the strongest card fated to appear under Emilia, a card named Subaru Natsuki, to his own deck. If he were honest, it made him loathe the idea of keeping Roswaal in Emilia's party once all the issues were taken care of. I think after... So yeah, I just wanted to explain what's going on in his head at that moment, what he's thinking. I think after it's pretty much the same thing here. Oh, man. Oh, so this isn't super important, but again, Subaru's thought process here about her memories, her memory loss. He's kind of comparing his return by death to Emilia. Like if he didn't keep his memories, his experiences after he died, after he returned by death, he'd pretty much have the same experience as Emilia. And that he would keep failing, doing the same things over and over and stuff like that. And that's kind of why Emilia is not able to, do this trial. Because she doesn't remember any. She doesn't know what she has to do. It's all just very bizarre. So yeah, it says if it would be as if Subaru didn't retain his memories after return by death and only knew of the events in the current instance of the loop. He would be able neither to reflect upon nor improve on his prior efforts. It made perfect sense why she kept failing. Then it goes on about him thinking about Ekidona and her personality and such, and him thinking, would she be like the type to laugh as you challenge like an insurmountable wall? He says. I won't read it all, but I'll leave the page up in case you're interested in that. By the way, this whole thing with Puck, completely the same. Nothing was left out. So sad though. I hate it. Hate it. Screw you, Puck. I know you have your reasons, but darn you. I know I said wouldn't be going through the entire episode, but here I am. This conversation with Garfield and Shima is pretty much the same. There's a few different things here and there. One noticeable thing is that Garfield, it says that Garfield thinks of Shima and Ryuzu. Yeah, Shima and Ryuzu to be. He thinks of them to be his grandmother. So yeah, it says Garfield firmly separated Shima from Ryuzu as an altogether different person. He considered the empty replicas to be different beings as well. And he considered Ryuzu and Shima to be his grandmother, while the other replicas were nothing more than dolls. This was a firmly held thought inside Garfield. Also says that was why when he spotted Ram leisurely loitering in the middle of the night, Garfield's heart beat fast. As far as Garfield knew, it was she who had the most beautiful core of all. And as far as I know, I don't remember an interaction with Garfield and Ram. I don't think so, right? No, it goes straight to Subaru and Emilia. Was there a thing with Garfield and Ram? Oh, yeah, right here. Okay. So I guess they just switched it around a little bit. Actually, let me go to the Ram thing first. Actually, no, I think in the book this is right after the talk with Ryuzu at nighttime, I think, right? And in the book it's not talking about Emilia gone missing. So I think they couldn't add this part in, I guess. Yeah, there's a few pages of stuff here. I'm probably not going to read it all. I'll read a little bit of it. Alright, so this is right after, let's see. So I believe this interaction here is right after Garfield leaves Shima here. So yeah, that was why when he spotted Ram leisurely loitering in the middle of the night, Garfield's heart beat fast. As far as Garfield knew, it was she who had the most beautiful core of all. Hey Ram, it's dangerous going for a nighttime stroll at an hour like this. Sure, I'm still recording. Yes. I suppose so. There are many dangerous nocturnal beasts roaming about, such as Barsu or Garf. Yeah, I haven't read this at all yet, so I don't know if this is important or not, but I just know this was not included in this episode. What a sharp-tongued girl, that's good about you, but when Garfield called out to her, Ram, enveloped by the moonlight, turned around and narrowed her eyes. The place they met was a path leading from Shima's cabin, which was concealed in the forest back to the settlement. Normally, there ought to have been no reason for her to be in the area, so of course it was unnatural for him to run into Ram here. Out for a stroll. After all, Borisov should be right at Emilia's side about right now. Alright to leave her to him? Isn't taking care of her a part of your job, Ram? A job consisting only of holding her hand on a night of worry is something even Borisov can handle. Besides, he wants to do it, so I push the responsibility onto him. Win-win. Is there a problem? With her facial features composed, Ram boldly shrugged her shoulders, unable to summon a retort to her gesture. Garfield copied her and shrugged his shoulders too. Emilia had lost her spirit, the center of her mental support. Staying by her side was the black-haired boy with the witch's miasma hovering over him. It certainly did not give him a good impression of either, but looks like this isn't going to work out, huh? Judging from the abandoned trial and from her state the night before, Garfield didn't think Emilia should overcome the trial, or could overcome the trial. He sympathized with the sight of her breaking into tears, crushed by her past. Of course, she had failed. The past was something he regretted, but could not change. There was no way to win against regret. Ram, do you have any regrets? Why, all of a sudden? Abruptly, Garfield put into words something heavy that rested inside him. The hateful trial was a collection of malice that made you vividly relive the regrets that haunted your heart. But would that even work on someone who had no regrets? Maybe it wouldn't work on Ram. Of course, even I have my regrets. You regret something? What do you regret? I regret having to stand here answering Garf's trivial questions. In addition, my shoes have become dirty from entering the forest. This too I regret. Oh, Ram, you never change, girl. Letting out a sigh, Ram patted her chest as she lamented such things. This left Garfield gawking at her, but she soon accepted a fact. She really didn't have any meaningful regrets. Her lack of regrets made Ram empty. Empty. What, am I even reading? Like, what am I doing? Her lack of regrets made Ram pretty. This, her typical strength, was what charmed him. Something is missing. I'm unsure of just what, but perhaps that would constitute a qualm. Nothing at all. More importantly, walk me back, or do you intend to make me travel this path at night alone? Declining to touch upon what he had heard her murmur, Ram immediately began walking towards the settlement. It was extremely self-centered behavior, but Garfield walked after her without a single word of complaint. Along the way, for a single moment, his thoughts lingered on Shima, left back at the cabin, but Ram's unhesitant gait spurred him onward. There was nothing going on that night. He was certain this quiet night over the sanctuary would continue unchanged. Okay, I said I wouldn't read it all, but here I am reading it all because it was interesting. So, and then after that, it gets into this thing with Subaru and Emilia. All right, so far I am 2 hours into recording this. I'm not doing the whole episode next time because it's gonna take so long, man. As much as I enjoy it, it's gonna take me 10 years to get the videos out, so I can't do the entire episode next time. Absolutely not. Especially when I really only have one day to edit. Let's see here, see if there's any differences here with this conversation. There will be, of course, there'll be some dialogue, but so sweet, man. So sweet. Alright, let's see. This is the important part. Let's see here. Okay. Alright, there's a bit of dialogue here. When this woman, who we can assume is her mother, please don't hate them. I love you. So in the light novel, she of course says, I'm sorry, Emilia, I'm sorry. I never taught you any of the important things. I hid everything from you. I just wanted our princess to be happy. Please forgive me. I love you. I want to protect you. I spoke about lies so no one would hate you. The woman loved her and wanted to protect her, yet she had spoken lies to avert hatred. Emilia hated lies. She detested lies. Lies brought nothing but sadness. Lies left Emilia alone. Lies ruined anything and everything. That was why she hated lies. Wow, okay. That just explains so much. I mean, huh. As soon as, right as I finished reading that, I just had a flashback to when, Subaru said he would stay put with Ram back in season 1 when she was supposed to do the whole throne business thing. He told Emilia that he'd stay. And of course he didn't. He lied to her. And that really crushed her. I'm pretty sure that was, I always thought it was because, she's a spirit mage. She makes pacts. I don't know, it just makes a little more sense. Lying is such a huge thing to her, I suppose. It goes on, Emilia, I really love you. This too was a lie. All of it was a lie. Lie. It was a lie. It was a lie. Not only she wanted to believe that everything had been a lie. Fortuna. Oh yeah, so mommy for the book says mommy. Mother Fortuna. Fortuna? You liar. Opening her eyes, Emilia spoke those words to the lovely woman, seared into her memories. Puck, you liar. Same thing. She spoke to the boy not there. Liar. Okay, yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Man, we learn a lot about Emilia in this episode and in the book. I love it. Okay, now this part confused me, and I'm sure it confused the other guys as well, Zach and Tabor. So maybe the book can kind of enlighten me on what's Garfield really thinking. Okay, when he looked around in the cabin interior, Garfield twisted his neck, for Shima was absent. It was very early in the morning, but the bedding was already lost its warmth. There was no mistaking that she had left at quite an early hour. The teacups. Right now, there's Roswaal and the miasma bastard here, touching the white scar on his forehead. Garfield twisted his cheeks, touching the scar when he was thinking about something was akin to force of habit. He'd borne the scar ever since the moment he entered the tomb in his youth. Behaved like an idiot who did not fear, but that memory was the single most foolish thing he'd done. Haunted by the presence of the scar, he touched it to make himself remember to regret and reflect. Hence it become a habit. Did he touch his head here? His scar? No, it goes right. Okay. Garfield made a beeline towards the settlement. There were two potential destinations, the cathedral, to which outsiders had been expelled, or perhaps... Okay, going down a few sentences here. With a pale face, there was none other than Subaru who turned around. There were two others at his side. Wait a minute. Huh? What? Subaru? Oh, okay, hold up here. What do you mean, book? Am I past this episode or something? There's no way. With a pale face, there was no other than Subaru who turned around. There's two others at his side, Ram and that third-rate guy, whose name he didn't remember. Otto? The trio was standing in front of an ebony house, the house currently being used as Emilia's place of rest. The hell are you doing out? Hey, do you know where the heck Emilia is? Garfield all worked up, trying to find Shima. Oh, maybe this, in the book, is his, like... Oh, okay. I don't know. I'm so confused right now. Garfield all worked up trying to find Shima. Was about to ask if they had any idea where she was when Subaru's words took him by surprise. This instantly left him at a loss. So in the book, he didn't realize, or currently in the book, he doesn't realize that Emilia was gone until now. What gives? Do you know where? You didn't abduct her, did you? Don't talk stupid. Why'd you go abducting the princess? What's going on? Okay, so... Wow, okay, I don't know. It seems Mr. Natsuki was holding her hand during the night. When morning came, Mr. Natsuki apparently went to switch with Ms. Ram so that she might get a change of clothes. Well, that's your mistake, ain't it? When Third Ray added more detail, Garfield let the comment slip. Subaru hung his head with a pathetic look on his face. To be blunt, Garfield had suspected it might be obviously some kind of scheme, but I didn't think Subaru being shaken by Emilia's absence was a ruse. Who could put on an act with a face that pathetic? If that was so, Shima and Emilia both being missing made this an emergency situation. No choice, thought Garfield as he took the blue crystal in his loincloth into his hand. He didn't want to employ his rights as an apostle agreed. But if there was ever a time to use the replica's power, this was it. He needed to mentally order them to search for Shima and next Emilia. For 1 second, he was tempted to order Shima to come to his aid, but Garfield forced the notion back down, throwing the option away. He didn't use his rights on Ryuzu or Shima. That was the moral code Garfield had to protect at all costs. So what, you looking for her with other people? We only just found out. We're gonna ask the people from Erlheim Village to... You do whatever you want. Me, I'll do it my way. Ram. Okay, this is... I don't know, man. This goes on and on. I mean, maybe this will happen in the anime, but maybe some events are switched around or something. They're reorganized. Maybe this will happen next episode. It'll show this. But there's pages of this, so I can't read all this. But I mean, I'm gonna throw up the pages in case anyone's interested. In case they don't show this interaction here. But I cannot read through all this. There's no way. just scrolling through it, seems like he's being lured to this place. Like he smells Ryuzu, or Shima specifically. And then Otto pops up. Turning around and raising his voice, he immediately scolded himself for the stupid question. There was only one sort of person who would show up at a time and place. In other words, this presence belonged to Subaru, but... So he thought this was Subaru at first. Actually, though, there's not much extra thing... There's not anything else in the book. There's nothing extra here. It's all pretty much the same. I was such a badass thing. And yeah, it just ends here. But sorry, I didn't go into too much detail in that last part. There's a lot of pages there. I can't get into it right now. It's literally 12:38 a.m. It's almost 1 a.m. So I gotta end it here. But I'm glad I finally got through that. But yeah, everyone, that concludes the light novel comparison. I hope it was informative for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I stumble my words a lot of the times and whatnot, so I hope you'll forgive me on that part. Yeah, I might be doing this in the next episode. I probably won't be doing it for the whole episode like I did with this one, pretty much. Because again, I'm almost going on 2.5 hours. Actually, it's more than 2.5 hours of recording here, so of just the light novel stuff. See, I got a lot of editing to do. I hope the video isn't like 10 hours long, but I guess we'll see. I mean, you'll already know, of course, if you made it this far. But again, thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next reaction. Me and Zach and Tabor will be back at it, of course. And yeah, I hope to see you guys there. Have a damn good day or night, wherever you are. I'm out of here.